Hi everyone, I am Ketra. Welcome to your reading for Aquarius, and this is for the month of July. So as always, this is a collective reading, so some of these messages may not resonate with you, and that's okay. And also, if these messages possibly resonate for somebody you know, feel free to share my video. And as always, thank you to all of my subscribers. Thank you to my viewers. I appreciate every single one of you. So let's go ahead and dive right into this reading for July. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to start with the oracle cards, but I'm going to go ahead and get our tarot cards ready for our reading so that we can kind of figure out which of the oracle decks we're going to start with. So let's go ahead and get the energy for Aquarius. I have the song Aquarius in my head, Aquarius. So let's take a look at where Aquarius is this month. Let's take a look at where Aquarius is this month. We have the Page of Swords, and I think he has made an appearance in every one of my readings. We have the Seven of Pentacles and the Nine of Wands. We have the Six of Pentacles, the Hermit, the Ten of Wands. We have the Ace of Pentacles. We have the Queen of Wands, and we have the Tower. All right. So let's see. I think we're going to start with these two oracles here. It is the beginning. There's still time to adjust or start over. Feel life flowing freely through your being. All of your wishes can come true in the creative potential of a new beginning. I think that makes sense because you've got a tower moment down here. Spark of life. Don't sink into hopelessness and despair, for in your lives, a spark of life that is undefeated and unbeatable. You can overcome everything. Your destiny depends upon you. You are definitely the writer of your story. All right. So through the reading, we're going to go ahead and we'll touch on your standout days and some of your challenging days. But let's go ahead and we'll take a look. We've got the Page of Swords. We've got the Seven of Pentacles, and we've got the Nine of Wands. And so just immediately, I just have this feeling of slow down. So the Page of Swords, he really wants to get more information before he kind of moves forward. You have the Seven of Pentacles, that is usually a card of kind of like contemplating whether you want to continue what you're doing or if you want to move forward. And I think something that's kind of like on your mind is what's happened to you in the past. This is the Wounded Warrior. The Knight of Wands is our Wounded Warrior. And our Wounded Warrior really is now just focused on one thing. And so I think right now, gather a little bit more information about what it is and how it is that you want to move forward with that Page of Swords energy. It's just, it feels like you're just kind of like both of these cards are kind of looking in the same direction. And so for me, it would mean I would want to gather some more information before I make a big change. Because I think, especially like for Aquarius, sometimes big changes are kind of uncomfortable. And so when we have had past experience that we continue to kind of carry forward, sometimes it makes those kind of decisions a little bit difficult. And so I think just gather some information about what it is that you want to do moving forward. Because down below, you have the Nine of Wands, the Ten of Wands, and then you have a Tower moment. That's typically not how I read this reading, but it just kind of sticks out that you have 9, 10, and then you kind of like have a Tower moment. And a Tower moment can be just a new beginning. It can just be something has changed in your life and you just are going to be going into a new direction. So let's do a little bit of clarifying on these cards. So, Spirit, why is the Page of Swords here? Show me what else you can tell me about the Page of Swords. Page of Swords with the Knight of Wands. And so again, it's that beginning of that ambition and that drive. It's that ability to be able to just go ahead and move forward. But again, I just definitely think that you just need a little bit of information before you maybe start on this new project or leave a project. You have the Ace of Wands. And so it's kind of like somebody or something has planted a seed in you, a thought, definitely a thought with that page of, Page of Swords over here. So there's some new idea, some new spark of something that has intrigued you. But I think maybe you're a little bit hesitant here at the beginning of the month of July because you've got that Nine of Wands here. And again, that's that wounded warrior kind of thing. But I think, wow, you have all of your clarifying cards are wands. And so you go from the Knight of Wands, which is kind of like, okay, I've gathered my information that was requested from that Page of Swords. I've gathered my information and I'm ready to go. You've got the Seven of Pentacles with that Ace of Wands where you're kind of looking at something and you're just kind of wondering. It also is a card of you have to continue to put the work into something, but maybe it's that you now have a new spark, a new idea, maybe a new way that you want to do something. And you have that Nine of Wands down here, but you have the Six of Wands also. So I kind of feel like the progression of the Knight of Wands, you decide to go ahead and take action from that idea that you had, or from the fact that you waited, because the Seven of Pentacles is really like you still need to put in some work onto something. So it feels like if you decide to go ahead and wait and continue the work that you've already started, it just feels like it progresses to a celebration, that Six of Wands kind of moment, you know? So I love that for you. And I feel like that's more towards your beginning of the month. So we have these two oracle cards here. I'm so glad I grabbed this right now because this says victories. I have grown within the universe, discovering the higher wisdom that leads me to victory. By directing my thoughts to clarity, I cultivate wisdom, love, and kindness within myself. With this, I am free to embrace all that life offers, knowing that I am guided and supported by divine light. I love that for you. And I feel like the person on this card is kind of like the feeling that I get from this Six of Wands right here. So I love that for us. The way of light. I take a conscious step into the light, transforming weaknesses into strengths by mastering my thoughts. With a positive attitude, I overcome obstacles and radiate light to every corner of my life. Through this journey, I embrace my power and share my light with the world. Absolutely. That's so fantastic. All right, so let's go ahead and continue on with our reading, shall we? So we are going to look at the Six of Pentacles, the Hermit, and the Ten of Wands. And so what I really feel from these cards here, Two of Cups. What I feel from these cards here is that balance. It's that balance of the Six of Pentacles. It's that balance that you've achieved because you are the Hermit card in this moment. And the Hermit, he needs to come down and he kind of needs to share his knowledge with everyone. And so the Six of Pentacles for me is also a card of where you have gained something significant. I feel like it's significant because of just the energy that I feel from those wands. It feels like whatever this is, this needs to be shared. And so once you share the wealth, is kind of like this card, it's sharing the wealth, but it's sharing the wealth, it's sharing the knowledge. And I think when you do that, things become less burdensome. You have the Ten of Wands down here, and that's typically a card of carrying too many burdens. But I really feel like it's more like the fruits of your labor. It really feels like you're sharing the wealth, you're gathering your harvest, and you're kind of proceeding forward. And I love that because then you kind of go up to your Ace of Pentacles over here. But we'll go ahead and we'll just do a little bit of clarifying as we move through this middle of the month here. So sharing the wealth with that Six of Pentacles. Show me more about the Six of Pentacles. You have the Queen of Pentacles, which is so fantastic. And I only laugh because I feel happy, joy for you this month. You're going to be sharing the wealth, and you're going to be in that energy of the Queen where you know how you got there, and you're giving, and you're kind, and you're nurturing. And I think that goes well with that Six of Pentacles energy. Our Hermit energy, wow. So again, you have the 10 of Wands. And so there's a lot of ambition and drive. What's missing? Cups. So there's a lot of ambition and drive. You did have the Two of Cups at the bottom of the deck for a moment, but just be mindful of your emotions. Just be mindful that what you're doing and how you're doing it, you're coming from a place of comfort emotionally. But back to your 10 of Wands with your Hermit, it again, it's that taking what you've learned and being able to like go home, being able to feel fulfilled, because this was a lot of work for you, and it went fast. It was good. It felt right, especially with that Six of Wands. You felt victorious about your situation here. And so with our 10 of Wands, um, 10 of Wands for me, for this one, it does feel like you kind of like completed a cycle. I know typically, again, it's a card of carrying too many burdens, but I feel like the burdens were necessary. It's what you wanted to do to kind of like cultivate this idea, this ambition, this drive that you have. And now you're kind of like looking at things like, okay, what do I want to do next? It feels like you have a lot of options coming up to you this month on what you want to do next. So let's take a look really quick about your standout days for the month of July. July 9th, brilliant ideas, breakthroughs, ideal for innovation or tech-related goals. July 18th, soften your edges for great romantic moments, creative flow, or spiritual connections. July 22nd, the sun enters Leo, your opposite sign, and that's great for relationships, for love, collaboration, and seeing other perspectives. July 8th is your first challenging day. Inner pressure or external conflict may push your limits. Focus on healthy outlets and avoid emotional attachments. July 15th, confusion around goals. Ground your energy and don't act on assumptions. July 25th, watch for obsessive thinking. Use your intellect to channel truth, not control. So as we move in towards the end of your month, you have the Ace of Pentacles. So I really feel like, again, that's a gift from the divine, especially when I feel like this has a lot to do with the work or something. Again, you have the beginning of the month, brilliant ideas, breakthroughs, ideal for innovation or tech-related goals. And it feels like towards that end of the month, you have the Ace of Pentacles, which again, a gift from above. You have the Queen of Wands. You have so much drive and ambition in this month. And I definitely feel like it has a lot to do with work. So with our Queen of Wands, you know, that's literally the energy that I feel like you're at that moment of glory. You're at that moment of pause. You're at that moment of not really having it matter what somebody else thinks about your current situation, that ambition and that drive. The only thing that kind of like keeps coming in the back of my head is it feels like you're very driven this month, but there's no cups. So with this Tower moment here at the end of the month, or, you know, more towards the end of the month, just be mindful of your emotional relationships, whether it's friends, family, loved ones. Just be mindful of your emotional relationships, because again, there's just not a lot of emotion kind of showing in this month. And that's just kind of a little bit peculiar. But again, if you're focused just solely on work, find that balance. So let's take a look and let's see what that Ace of Pentacles wants to share with us. Queen of Swords. So yeah, again, another, you know, card of kind of like authority, kind of like you're going one direction. You're willing to accept help, but they better come correct. And I do definitely think this has a lot to do with work for you this month, Aquarius. Let's see what our Queen of Wands is clarified with. It is the Five of Swords. So that could be conflict. That can be kind of like having to figure out if you need to walk away from a situation or not. And that's interesting because it comes right before your Tower moment. And your Tower moment is a transforming moment. It's literally two major arcana cards at once. So you have a Tower moment, but I don't feel like it's necessarily negative. But I do definitely just want to, again, reiterate the the importance of making sure that you have that emotional balance, that you're focused also on those around you that also might need your attention too. But it does feel like whatever this is for you is very transforming, and it's a rebirth with that tower moment. There's a tower moment, and then you kind of start over again. And so I kind of like that for you. It's an interesting energy. So let's go ahead and look at this oracle card. It's flow. Find an easier path forwards, surrender the outcome, release your expectations, and then awareness. Live in the moment, be conscious of your thoughts, look for signs and guidance. Always look for signs and guidance. So I think we'll go ahead and we'll grab a couple of spirit animal oracles just to end our reading tonight. Spirit animal oracles, spirit animal oracles. What messages do you have for Aquarius? That is an interesting, ambitious month for you, Aquarius. All right. You have Crow Spirit, co-create with Spirit. And then you also have Fox Spirit, think on your feet. You're clearly going to need to think on your feet this month. That's neat. And then you have Butterfly Spirit. Transformation is beautiful. That is the card we're ending on, because transformation is beautiful. So I love that for you. All right. As always, thank you so much for subscribing. Thank you for watching my videos. And until the next video, take care and have a really good day.